Hello again, and welcome back to Let's Play Imperator Rome as Syracuse. So for this special episode today, I've put on a collared shirt and some white clothing to celebrate our recent ascension to the rank of major power. And in this episode, we will be doing some more actions that add to the glory of our nation. However, this will be primarily a housekeeping episode, as we have many matters to attend to. As tempting as it may be to put these mercenaries that we have hired and with whom have served us so well to further use, in particular perhaps against Rome, who seems to be engaged in adventures to the north right now, I think we should focus for just a bit on some internal matters. In part because we acquired a new province that has some different culture and different religion. I want to attend to them. I want to spend my money on getting the appropriate facilities up, not only for them, but also for getting my economy back home in order. With all of that said, shall we begin? I've tried to go through and make mental notes to myself of all the tasks on the list, but it is quite extensive, so do feel free to add in the comments anything I may have overlooked to help the community learn together how to maximize their potential in this game. So, where we shall start is with the relatively simple task, getting rid of all of the newly acquired forts. That's something I'm pretty sure I can handle. There are 2 forts on this island. We could even go to the fort map mode just to help ourselves. One is here, which we cannot get rid of right now because we need a month tick. Maybe that will help. Whoop, yes, that will help. Let that siege end. So we got rid of that fort. This fort, it controls north-south access on the island quite well. However, I will delete it eventually because I would prefer forts in the provincial capitals. We did see in the last episode how important that can be, because even if a little two stack sneaks by your fleet and lands at your provincial capital, as they did down in Locri, then if you don't have a fort there, you're going to have to take the temporary hit of losing many provinces very quickly. So we don't want to delete any capital forts, such as this one, but we do want to build new ones in the new provinces that have new capitals. That's a longer term goal though, because first things first, they need to get happy. We do have more forts down here, though, as well, to delete. Both of these little former city-states that we acquired have level 2 forts. Definitely those can go. That city has some extra libraries, which is very nice. Both of them do. Once they get over to our side, those libraries will pay off quite well. This city here has nothing, which is good. Is this a city as well? That is also a city. Many cities in that province, and there will be a time when we deal with that question. That time is not now. And this city has a fort, but yes, it is a capital province, so it's getting retained. We also have a fort here that was acquired from our recently annexed subject. That can go. And a fort here and here that used to be our old border. Well, I like occasionally keeping 1 or 2 forts for internal security, such as perhaps here would be a good place because it would really control movement on this island well. I am going to get rid of them now, though, because they're not in the perfect place. I will keep just this one, though. We can afford 1 more. I do believe that takes care of all the extra forts that we are no longer needing. So, that simple task aside, we shall turn to the next relatively simple task, accepting the missions that we have completed. Mission number 1, we do this time actually control Syracuse. So we can complete that. We'll get some extra freemen in the city of Panormus. That's the newly acquired one here. that you can barely read because it's covered up by mercenaries and forts and cities and all sorts of stuff. That will help population happiness and tax. Excellent. We can also complete the mission Acquire Sicania. Give us some political influence. That's always a plus. This mission, as I've mentioned before, we are not going to be completing because it's irrational and it's not required. Extra military experience, always a plus, but even if we wanted to import 2 iron temporarily, we just couldn't. It doesn't exist. I've kind of looked around. So we can finish that mission up. We're going to have 2 other options for missions here that we will look at probably in the next episode. That being done, let's turn to our next task, getting a governor for the new region of Italia. I tried to select one in advance before this episode, but we don't have any standout candidates. We have many that have many different drawbacks. We need several things. We need 0 corruption. That rules out, unfortunately, a couple qualified people, including some people who hold other government jobs. I was thinking about shuffling around. But any corruption at all is a no-go. So, we also need very high loyalty. She is very high. Grateful family. But I think she had another drawback, didn't she? I seem to recall when I was scanning earlier, she had a drawback. Ah, yes, 20 corruption. Woo, 20 corruption. Yes. And there's no way we can get that to go away. It's a no-go. So we need high loyalty, but not quite such high corruption. The age... She only has 1, but even 1 makes me think that they've got potential for more very soon. Her loyalty, +5 for weak-willed, is a plus. Family is not grateful, which is limiting her potential. All right, maybe... No, she's awfully old. 66. Province Commerce, so that's also relatively not that appealing. 83, but we're getting really down to the bottom of the barrel now. 6 and a 5. How old is she? 66 years old. Not a member of any major family. Friend of rival of ruler, submissive. +15. Not a member of any family, so that also just kind of removes the family dynamics that can always get problematic. Friend of rival of ruler. I'm trying to get the logic of that right and why that's a plus, but all right. She's only a 6'5", though, which is not spectacular. I know there are some other people in here with potential. I recall seeing some earlier. All right, 0 corruption, arrogant, selfish. Everybody seems to have some sort of trait that's making them very undesirable. Stubborn and revoked offices, tyranny. All right, I think we're gonna probably end up going with her just so that we get the best out of the finesse and the martial. And what I'm gonna do to get her loyalty up is I'll take care of it in several other ways. She is weak-willed, so that's a plus, but uncaring in the other way. Long path for a difficult decision. So, as you can see now, her loyalty went down because she has a power base now. We want to do 2 things. She is a member of the Dinocratid family. So we want to get a Dinocratid another job so that they become grateful, and that will increase her loyalty. I had been eyeing getting rid of this fella. 52. For some reason, I'm not really sure why, but I had a reason for wanting to get rid of him. So let's see. 52 is a bit old for giving a new job. He's only 23. Good loyalty, still an 8. Planning for the future, that might be the best idea. We could look at getting rid of Nikid as well. But again, just have some elderly people to take over his job. 52 isn't bad. But I got to make sure that family, yeah, that family's appreciation will go down a little bit, which is a bit of a shame. One more check and then we'll make a decision on this. He's a 7. And this was also a 7. So he's only 23. He also has an 8 military, so it means he has kind of future potential, which is a good thing. All right, let's not think about it too much. We will give him a job then as well, right there. Does hit this a little bit severely for now while he builds up his skill set, but that's fine. So now, as we can see here, her loyalty has gone up because she's a grateful family. We are going to also give her free hands. No, that will increase her corruption. And I don't want to do that at all. By quite a bit. I'm slightly worried about that. Well, if she gets corrupt, she's going out. Who would get corruption in this case? And 15 loyalty for 48 months and 5 corruption. Ooh, even bribing her as well. I'll just see if there's some other way. I'll think if there's other ways to get her loyalty without getting her corruption. But I don't think so. But that'll have to do for now then. Because I don't want her to get too corrupt. But maybe we just take one little corruption hit. I'll have to do the math and figure out how it adds up. Alright, so we have taken care of that issue. That probably took a little bit too much time, but it is a serious decision. So we can move on to the next issues. That is getting our trade routes back up and established. So one thing I noted I wanted to do immediately was to cancel this trade route of base metals from Dodecapolis. So let's look at our imports. Base metals, cancel, okay. And then that way we can relatively easily just import that, although we would have had another option there to do it as well. Again, into our capital to get a light infantry defense or offense bonus. Excellent. Another thing we want to do is cancel the extra fish. We've gotten a new province here, so we no longer need to be importing fish for that bonus. So that is traded from Liburnia. That is an import as well. Liburnia, Syracuse fish. That can go. And next, I can look at importing some new items. We'll check for the nobles. Yep, we'll get more noble happiness. That is always a plus. Cloth and furs are things that could give us bonuses now, but that's not that useful, and neither is that. So let's instead just look for a nice local bonus. Spice, citizen happiness. You know what I'm going to do though? I'm going to wait for that because getting some citizen happiness here is probably more important, or noble happiness. Because that is going to be, let's go for the noble happiness then. That is going to be what helps get the provincial loyalty up. Happiness affects loyalty. The most important people are the nobles, followed by the citizens. The happier they are, the less this provincial loyalty will go down. Provincial loyalty is not looking spectacular at the moment, but we're working on it. All right, let's progress then back to getting more of the imports sorted. All right, maybe we grab something else then there. Yep, why not? That looks good. Is leather. Get some more Freeman happiness. Sorted. We can move our heavies back over here as well now. And I was correct. Actually, these are heavies, not mediums. I corrected myself falsely in the last episode saying that, oh, I'd been calling them heavies, but they actually aren't heavies. They are heavies. So where else do we have imports? We've got 3 import routes in our little new province here. That's also a lot of stuff. Let's look at getting more leather here then. Yep, get it all from Egypt. I feel like almost source diversification would be in order. A regional power of Pontus. Yeah, let's do some source diversification. So that was something to make Freeman happy. Let's see if we can find something to make the citizens happy. Yep, that'll do there. And now we can see if we can find something else to make the nobles happy. Yep, still more cloth. Let's diversify here again as well, away from just relying on Egypt. We then also have 2 import routes here. I do recall seeing there was even more cloth available. We can get that from Egypt. Oh, that was a mistake though. We already have cloth in that region, meaning that somebody will probably just offer to buy us our surplus off this region, but that's all right. We'll be fine. Anything more for Freeman happiness? Tends to always be some hemp around. Yep, sure, there we go. Let's get the Freeman there happy as well. Looks like most of the trade routes then are utilized. Alright, trade routes are sorted. Now we can get rid of our mercenaries. They've served us well. Thank you, gentlemen. On your way. Take your money. Paying them off 104 ducats, but money well spent. And the next thing we can do is actually disband our levies as well. I do want to point out that by acquiring this new area of Sicily, we've increased the size of our integrated pops. And also, without fanfare, the Sibylline people have now become an integrated culture group. It didn't give us a pop-up or anything when that happened, not that I saw at least. So, yay, welcome to the family. They are quite happy. That means we've got much larger integrated pops in our country now, which means when we disband these levies, watch those numbers go from 723 up to something a little bit more appealing. Disband all levies. 16,510. Yep, that is much more desirable. And you see we also got a few levies from Italia. Good. So, we've sorted that problem now as well. Well, problem, we've gotten rid of the soldiers, thereby committing ourselves hopefully to a slight era of peace. Next, we want to deal with the stability issue a little bit. Not a lot we can do, but you see it is impacting our population happiness quite a bit. So we are going to go to our religion tab. We are going to call an icon here and get the national freeman happiness going. Because we need stability, we are not in a position to change the deity at this moment because that will cost us stability. So that will have to go on our to-do list. And we will poke the pig and get a little bit of a boost there then to our stability growth. Alright, another issue is sorted. Next on the list, we need to build a few temples that are very, very expensive. I think that price has gone up in these cities that are of the wrong religion, which is most importantly this one, and this one, starting with this one. The next one in term of size is that one, and that's all we can afford. Ouch, they are that expensive, but our income is going to be going up significantly here, so we will be able to afford more very soon. Let's not worry about that too much. I think that is almost everything of critical importance right away. I still am mulling over whether to bribe this governor to get her more loyal, because that makes a large difference in provincial loyalty. But we'll have to wait just a tiny bit and see. And I can get things moving on the clock after we do one final thing, the true celebratory moment, and that is tag switch. Not just once, but twice. The first tag that we are now eligible to switch to is Sicily. We can unite Sicily, which is a tier 2 formable. It will give us 150 political influence, plus a bunch of citizens and freemen, and a emergent capital bonus in our capital region, and 2 free province investments. Very nice. Let us do that then. Enact. We have wisely united Sicily. We get a new flag, a maybe new color, I can't quite tell. And we get a lot of people who probably were all placed in our capital. Yes, they were. Which means we desperately need to get an aqueduct up there. Yes, at least one. And in our free time, or my free time, I'm going to do the math as to which provincial investment we should get for this capital. Basically, I want to see at what point the population capacity boost of 2.5% is worth more than another aqueduct based on the base values that you see here. It'll be quick math, but nonetheless, not so quick that I should do it right now. So the next thing is to let the country of Sicily exist for a day or two, just for the memes. I don't know what kind of meme that would be though. All right, so it means we can now form Magna Graecia. Magna Graecia is a tier 3 formable. I believe that means endgame tag. I'm almost certain. 4 more citizens, 4 more freemen, 4 more free provincial investments, and claims on the rest of Magna Graecia, which isn't much, but at least it will be on the remaining provinces that we want to take here from Rome. So shall we do that? We could also wait a little while until the aqueduct's done or something, but I don't think the citizens will starve before we get the aqueduct done, so it should be fine. There we go. Now we have an even prettier color. Well, in my opinion, I like that color, a little soft purple. We match in with our ally very well, and a new flag as well. Quite happy with that. At this point, if this was your kind of goal in the game, you could even, call your game if this is an achievement. I assume it probably is. I haven't looked up all the achievements yet. So this would be your achievement run right here. However, we are probably going further. This is a question I will want to pose to you actually, but it's a little bit early, so maybe we'll do that at the end of the episode, and I can let at least a little bit of time go by. We can get some of our trades going here, so that we can get our financial situation to improve even more. Just accepting everything unless it's from Rome or Carthage. We've got a lot of new goods. This is when, when you would say that you should probably automate it. Except. Already going on up to 12 in our income. Starving pops, yes, in Syracuse, but we're getting that aqueduct up. I'm sure it will go away shortly. What is provincial loyalty looking like here? I'm mostly interested in the burn. -4.9. We are getting that 0.04 from our governor's loyalty, which is good. Could probably get it higher, but then it would come at the cost of corruption, and I have to maybe do the math and figure out what is more worth it. There, that one is burning at 0.54. You'd think it'd be the other way. That province would be lower, but I guess not for some reason. All right. So we're going to have to slowly get these people happier and happier by whatever means we can devise. If we get a rebellion, we get a rebellion. That is all right. It happens from time to time. I consider civil war to be more of a feature of the game than something to avoid at all expenses. Naturally you want to avoid it. But at a certain point, if you don't have a civil war, it may just mean that you are not trying hard enough. Let's take a look at our laws here. No, we can't change that quite yet, but we're going to be working there. I was actually more interested in taking a look at the economy tab. We have to first accept these trades. Accept, yes. A petition, so we can use that as an excuse to look at the economy tab. Did want to do a quick check here what exactly the implications of higher taxes are. Research. Nope. Export value probably actually pays for itself. That's again something you'd have to do the math for. We have no tribute coming in. This is all relatively irrelevant. I'm not going to lower wages or anything. We could lower fort maintenance for a while though, since we're not expecting a war anyways. So, the wealthier residents of Olbia Sandolitis have sent a formal petition on behalf of the entire province complaining about the harsh ways of their governor. Ugh, we just got her. It seems that her taxation policy is causing quite a furor amongst the landowners. Nonsense, she is doing a fine job. She will gain loyalty, that is a plus, but the province will get petition ignored for 2 years, and she already got some corruption. You send a representative, or remove the miser. Yeah, after all that time we spent making sure we got a non-corrupt governor who was loyal, that happens. She would lose 20 loyalty immediately. We would gain 10 popularity. I would like to see how the corruption balance goes with loyalty. Is it worth getting more corrupt in order to get more loyalty? But that's something I should test in a test game, not in something that is for your entertainment. So I guess we're going to have to remove this miser. I'm not getting somebody with corruption after we spent so much time trying to get somebody who had no corruption. All right, so who are our options now? Dude has corruption. He does not. Is there any reason not to take him? He's quite loyal as well. Just the age. The age is the only thing holding him back. We would have citizen output, assuming the citizens are happy. Is there some other reason I didn't select him originally? Statesmanship. Nope, seems he's ambitious. That is a drawback, but not a big enough drawback. I don't want to spend another 10 minutes on this. So, Mr. Aristoteles, you are the new governor. I didn't take a look much at his military potential. 5, okay, that's fine. He's also treating them with a light touch. I do want to change this to religious conversion. I just have to figure out exactly when I want to do that. Which probably won't be this episode. It can be in between, but I'll want to look at like every citizen and their numbers and see, is this what I want? I do want to get this treasury up high enough to get the other temple up ASAP. Peltier. Poor harvest. Raise the price of grain. Yeah. Or seize grain from all visiting merchants. Sure, we can afford the corruption as the leader. I can help get that down myself. More popularity. That is a lot of popularity, though. And we don't actually need it. We kind of gets wasteful. So yeah, we'll raise the price of grain. Offset that in the future. Speaking of our king, primary heir is now 13. Let's direct a royal tutor in the education of a member of the ruling family. So, do we want to give him a martial education? A bureaucratic education? Divine? Or this seems most unwise? So he's gonna lose loyalty either way, but that's alright. No. Finesse is, of course, always good. I don't really know the traits, and I haven't looked at what greedy, crafty, shrewd, and everything are. Having him have some military ability would be nice, but I think I'm going to have him go the finesse route. Maybe it'll somehow offset this arbitrary thing a little bit. Yep, whatever. Bureaucracy will serve best. I think that's a feature that is probably pretty underdeveloped, but it will get there in time. Still have quite a few surpluses floating around if our somebody would want to secure those for us. We still also have this isolated province modifier, despite this being on the same island in the same region as our capital. That is a bit unusual. Carthage wants something. Yeah. You know what? I need the money more than that. It'll make them dependent upon me. Not that that matters. Alright, Rome is making some progress up here. They've got a fort, and whereas the other province that their enemies have secured has nothing. How are we doing on time? We're about at time, but we'll run it through a little bit more here. Up, I got enough money. Build that temple. That is good, which is also good because now I can start turning to some other needs, such as finally building a library in the city. Alright, we have a free job now. I was waiting for him to die. He was the one that was unloyal a long time ago, but then recovered somewhat. I want to make sure, primarily, that I keep whichever... Yes, it has to be a Dinoclatid because of that governor... Is that governor still a Dinoclatid, actually? Yes. Dinoclatid. So I have to make sure that a Dinoclatid gets this job. Limits my options. 22-year-old with very good skills in the area. And she's all around very well balanced, too. I like her. There we go. Okay. Bond of Childhood. I don't think I've ever seen this event. Sometimes childhood forges friendships that last for a lifetime, and often those friendships transcend the boundaries of family, class, and belief. It would appear that Callus seems to be developing a strong bond with Achaios of the Nikid family. As any parent knows, there really isn't much we can do to stand between them. Interesting. That, probably one of our children, then, yes. Someday, maybe that could be beneficial. We shall see. Alright, we do have enough money to get that library up. Let's do that. I really could care less about anything else but that library. We are not starving here anymore, but we are over pop capacity. Again, I think nobody will die, though, since there's nobody starving between this episode and the next one, so I'll do the math during the break. I've also noticed that my camera has a zoom tendency, so I should probably stop bouncing back and forth and making it zoom in and out. That's what you get for getting something that supposedly has nice capabilities, but it then proves that those are not the most beneficial at all times. Oh, okay. We can see our friends are having another civil war. They are really not in good order. So we will probably end up having to go and help them with that shortly. I'm sure they will call us in. We do want to help them as well, because we would like a little bit more Roman territory relatively soon. Alright, let's maybe stop there or wrap up a little bit. We can leave the clock running. Well, we could, but now I will stop it actually, since we have a call to arms. We will accept that call to arms, of course, and try to send some sort of force. I hate to activate all of my levies just to help them out. Maybe we could just send a token force from our new province. One of the reasons it is great to actually have one additional province is for those kind of token forces if you need it for a while. You just want to send 4 cohorts to help out, but you don't want to destroy your economy in the interim. Alright, we went over a lot of housekeeping this time. Some of it took a little bit of time, but these issues are important. You don't really want rebellion, but we really wanted this province. A very rational player would have focused firstly on conquering kind of same culture, same religion areas, would save the hassle. You could also prioritize your tech tree in a different way. However, I want to leave the possibility of tall play open, and this is a good island to control for tall play. Isolated, secure. If you take stuff on land, you tend to get into this mission creep. Oh, I just need a buffer zone. Oh, I just need a bigger buffer zone. Maybe a couple buffer states. And before you know it, you've got, half of Europe under your control, all in the name of security. I think this has happened once or twice in history and may still be happening in the world today. So I reserve political judgments for, other venues. So that was the wise choice, and this choice was wise because of the trade goods offered by this island, particularly the iron. which eventually we will, stop exporting, and we will use that iron to help get ourselves a bonus in the capital. It also does very well at grain, so it's the kind of island you just really want. And we'll deal with getting them loyal in time. Yeah, it'll happen, trust me. And if not, they will be crushed. All right. So, yeah, we did all of that admin and formed ourselves a new nation. And in the next episode, I'll try to accrue a little bit more money while we help out our Etrurian friends with their revolt. But I would like to start thinking about our next steps. And as part of that, I would ask for your input if you have any strong feelings in one direction or another on that. Shall we play tall? Shall we go semi-tall? So shall we go super wide? So even if we go tall, should we maybe at least take a few more provinces from Rome? That's without a question. But maybe we should eliminate Rome from the game so that threat is gone. And we can give the rest to our Etrurians. We can take the south. They can take the north. And, all history rewritten there. Or should we also then later focus on maybe grabbing isolated provinces, like really valuable stuff? Like I kind of wouldn't mind getting some dyes, I think, and they're because they have good noble happiness benefits. Maybe we can just go seize that and build something there, and then establish little outposts around the Mediterranean. Or we could go diplomatic and establish a bunch of tributaries and client states everywhere, and go for that kind of route. And then naturally there is the wide approach, or at least semi-wide. You can leave your opinion in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's any more admin you think I should start getting a handle on here. The main thing holding us back from doing more things right now is just that we need more stability and more money. More money will let us build buildings that give happiness for the nobles and the citizens over here in particular. The academies and such would be nice to get up. More stability will allow us to get a permanent legion up. And also to start changing some cultural rights, just not fully for integration, but for assimilation purposes. These decisions here that we haven't even touched on yet. Some of them are, very cost efficient, I will say, but still cost 5 stability. And I want that stability up above 50 before I make any such decisions. Thank you again for your time, for your attention, for your support, and I look forward to seeing you next time for continuing our run as Syracuse / Magna Graecia, and for seeing which geopolitical direction we take our new country. Take care of yourselves. I will see you soon. Ciao.